Hey, JL Fields here, and I am super excited to share with you the latest news. This is my 8th book baby. 8! How weird is that? I went vegetarian 18 years ago. I went vegan 10 years ago. And of course, I started a blog because everyone did blogs 10 years ago. And it just kind of changed my life, not just from an ethical perspective of living my life from a place of doing my best around the issues of justice for all beings. But also I felt so committed to it that I decided to turn it into my career. And so I went from 25 years in the nonprofit sector to suddenly becoming a vegan cookbook author. I teach cooking classes. I'm here in Colorado Springs. I run the Colorado Springs Vegan Cooking Academy. And I write my books as a way to coach and help people on this path toward veganism. And my approach is obviously a culinary one. And so I do it through the culinary arts. Of my 8 books, this is the first one that has never had vegan in the title. That's really weird for me, but I want to explain it a little bit. So first off, I'm a noun, I'm a vegan, okay? 100%. My perspective is an ethical one, and I'm delighted that I have immersed myself in this world of trying to make the world better for animals, for the planet, and obviously there can be health benefits for some people depending on what's happening in their lives and what kind of conditions they might have. But my focus has always really been vegan, and so my cookbooks really reflect that as well. Although the first book that I co-authored with Jenny Messina, Vegan for Her, is a vegan nutrition book for women, and I wrote the recipes. But I wrote the book, The Vegan Air Fryer, Vegan Pressure Cooking, Vegan Meal Prep, Fast and Easy Vegan, and most recently, Vegan Baking for Beginners. I was approached by my publisher to take on this book, this topic of plant-based eating. And I really actually jumped at it because it seems that over the years, sort of terms are changing and weird things are happening. So many people are buying plant-based products now that food brands are trying to capitalize on that. So there are actually some meat companies that add vegetables to animal flesh and call it plant-based because it's based in plants. So with all of that kind of stuff happening, and knowing that so many of the people that I have been working with for years, people who read my books, who take my cooking classes, also have a health motivation around really just trying to focus on wholesome ingredients that focus on the food, it just felt like the right time. And it was really fun for me because I felt like I get to, in this book, share with you what those terms mean. And I go through what it means to be vegan or plant-based or whole food plant-based, or some dietary restrictions where people also avoid foods that are vegan, but they avoid them for health reasons. This book is going to be that book that I think is for anybody. So what I mean by that is the recipes start with the whole ingredients, and they can be prepared with no oil, no salt, or no sugar. None of those things have to do with being vegan, and none of those things actually have to do with plant-based. That was my way of inviting people who do avoid those foods in their diet to be a part of this process. But I also offer suggestions, like if you use oil, here's where you could use a little oil, or if you want to use some salt. But the whole idea of this book is to break down sort of this idea that cooking this way is complex. But I have played around with flavors and invite you to strengthen your culinary muscles as a home cook to add some complexity through flavor profiles, through textures, through getting creative with different kinds of vegetables and fruits and grains and nuts and seeds and beans and legumes. So I hope that you will see this as a way that you can really enhance what's happening in your own kitchen, in your pantry. In fact, there's a 21-day meal plan. Those of you who did my vegan meal prep book, I know you're going to be happy about that. But what I like about it is it's not just a 21-day meal plan, but it actually really helps you start to build up your pantry with your arsenal of spices. A lot of people, when they start cooking this way, are like, I don't have turmeric, or I don't have smoked paprika. This is a easy way to start to ease into adding some of these things into your pantry. I talk a lot about umami, and those of you who've taken my cooking classes know that I'm cuckoo for the fifth flavor, which just this sort of savory, briny, fermented flavors that bring out a meatiness from plants. It's just such a great technique and method to become familiar with to make plant-based cooking delicious. But in the meal plan, you're going to get an outline of what you're going to eat for the week with the recipes. And then you're going to see what you need to go buy, from the canned goods to dry goods to nuts and seeds to fresh produce. But then in the recipes, I have 115 recipes, and we go from breakfast to handhelds to salads to soups and stews and mains and snacks and desserts. And possibly one of my favorite chapters, I know you're not supposed to say that, and that's going to sound really weird, but I actually absolutely adored creating recipes for, I just want to get to it so I can show you the homemade staples. So homemade ketchup, homemade mustard, a spice mix that I give you 3 different ways to make it. No salt, some salt, and give me the salt. And so, but it's really just packed with some dried spices and dried mushrooms that give you some really great flavor. And again, the idea behind this book is just a way for you, if you're wanting to eat a little bit healthier, you want to recreate some recipes that you've enjoyed over the years. I had a lot of fun sort of veganizing things like a Waldorf salad or a scallops provençal, but I use heart of palm instead of scallops, and just some really fun things. And so over the next couple of weeks, no surprise, this book is available for pre-order. It's available for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And then on October 20th, when the book comes out, it's available wherever books are sold, online or in bookstores. But these books, or these weeks leading up to the book release, I'm going to be doing things on my newsletter, as well as on my Facebook page, as well as on my Instagram account, to just share some recipes, get an idea from you for some of the things you're looking for, engage with you so I can answer some of your questions. And so I want you to stay in touch with me. So wherever you're watching this video right now, there'll be a link to sign up for my newsletter, a link to my Facebook, and a link to my Instagram, because I'd love for you to get involved with some giveaways, because I'll be doing a few giveaways here. I'm going to be doing some appearances on different blogs and podcasts, and that's how you'll be able to stay in touch with that. And also I teach online cooking classes. You can go to 𝐓𝐡𝐞 classes, and you can see what classes are coming up. But I'm cooking from this book on October 14th, a week before the publication date. And it's called Fancy Plant-Based Cooking. And are you ready for this? I'm going to be doing it from an RV, because I'm going to be visiting my family, and we're doing socially distanced visiting. So I'll be staying in an RV. And I thought, what better way to show you how simple it is to make fancy recipes that are completely plant-based in a teeny tiny kitchen. So that's on October 14th. So stay in touch with me. I hope you're as excited about this book as I am. I think that it's just such a great addition to the books that I've been writing over the years, because wherever you enter this world of vegan or plant-based, I got recipes for you, and they're never hard. I want this to be something that you can walk into your kitchen, prepare a meal, and feel proud of it, have your pleasure palate tickled, and you are convinced that you can keep doing this and you can do it for a lifetime. So check out the Complete Plant-Based Diet, check out my newsletter, my Facebook, my Instagram. Let's stay engaged, let's talk about this, and let's have some fun with this book.